tweet early on. This is a post that was made by Simone Biles in October 2017. Good thing guys don't compete against girls, or he'd take all the gold medals. Is it any more complicating than that? But because Simone Biles, and this is what makes me question. This is why I asked you the question earlier, Bonds, and to all the Democrats. This is, and Bonds answered, and he said it's got to be for political position. So I said, why do you think, even though Democratic voters do not support this, why do the Democratic leaders, the politicians, the leaders of your party that are guiding y'all, why does this seem to be an issue that they want to push, even though the people that vote for them do not want it?
Oh my God.
Right? Okay. So boys playing sport. This is insane to me. It just keeps getting wilder and wilder. And Simone Biles decided to inject herself into this conversation. And in my opinion, it just shows the unrealistic bubble that so many people are living in nowadays. The unrealistic bubble that so many people are living in nowadays. Take a look at this. Let me make sure you guys are. Take a look at this. So there's a couple different stories that I'm going to share. We'll go through everything, and then we'll go through the tweets that both Simone Biles and Riley Gaines had going up against each other. All right.
A lawsuit has been filed in federal court challenging Minnesota's transgender athlete policy in girls' sports.
The complaint was brought forward on behalf of several metro area high school softball players. Fox 9's So Young Kim joins us in studio tonight to break this down for us. So Young, what is in this complaint?
Randy Kelsey, according to the lawsuit, 3 female high school softball players say their experience competing against a transgender athlete undermines fairness, sacrifices their safety, and violates Title IX. This is the lawsuit the Alliance Defending Freedom filed Monday on behalf of Female Athletes United, an advocacy organization. As you can see here, defendants listed are Minnesota agencies, leaders, and the State High School League. The complaint highlights the experience of 3 Minnesota high school softball players. In the lawsuit, a junior at Maple Grove says she lost against a biologically male athlete in both the regular season and sectionals. A junior at Farmington says she would have had to compete against a biologically male player for pitching time, which led to her decision to quit the club team. And a sophomore at Farmington says being hit by a pitch thrown by the biologically male pitcher hurt more than other times in similar situations. The documents focus on an unnamed student who they say is a biologically male athlete on the girls' high school softball team for Champlain Park. In response to the complaint, Attorney General Keith Ellison's office sent us this statement that reads in part, quote, "I believe it is wrong to single out one group of students who already face higher levels of bullying and harassment and tell these kids they cannot be on the team because of who they are. I will continue to defend the rights of all students to play sports with their friends and peers."
Are we allowed to comment on this? Because I know, never mind, let me not be petty. All right. Minnesota Attorney General. Of course, it's a black man that they push. That of course, this is. I don't know whether this Attorney General is a Democrat or a Republican. Let me actually look that up. Minnesota Attorney General, because this is just. I guess I'm gonna be generalizing. More. But it's funny how all these generalizations seem to be very consistent with what's going on. But let's say Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison. Attorney General Keith Ellison. Democrat or Republican? All right, I'm looking it up. Surprising, he's a part of the Democratic Party. Yeah. Yo, man. Oh my God. And the Democrats wonder why black men are leaving the Democratic Party, why young men are leaving the Democratic Party. These people write statements or give statements as if they think the people that they're speaking to are idiots. I believe it is wrong to single out one group of students who already face higher levels of bullying and harassment and tell these kids they cannot be on the team because of who they are. I will continue to defend the rights of all students to play sports with their friends and peers. This is a man. You know what? If we're going to do this, let's be consistent across the board. Let's get rid of the fact that aren't the rules. What are the laws when it comes to all the, like, I know it always comes up in college when we look at these videos with your first week in college with orientation, they show you the videos with sexual harassment, and they're usually highlighting women being sexually harassed, and they start talking about the stats of how many women have been sexually assaulted or harassed. You know what videos I'm talking about, right? Did you guys get that at UVA? All right, so we had that at William and Mary, and the rule is that pretty much, or you tell me, I don't know. Well, I'll have the combo with y'all. But I know Maya and I have spoken about this, where if a boy or a guy is drunk and the girl or the woman is drunk and they have consensual sex, or they legally it can't be consensual, who gets in trouble in the majority of those times? College campuses, wherever.
They don't both get in trouble. They go to, at least at UVA, they go to counseling. They make them both go to counseling.
So Maya said that they both go to counseling.
Yeah, they try to come up with a resolution. If a girl was to accuse a guy and they were both drunk at a party or whatever, they make them both go to counseling.
All right. So in my experience and what I've observed, I guess maybe we should.
Do you know someone that was accused at school and what happened to them? Because I do. That's what I'm saying.
Do you know somebody that was accused as far as what?
At college.
Of what?
Of sexual assault.
No, I know somebody outside of college.
I'm talking about in a college environment.
Oh, so she's saying in a college environment. Okay. Okay. Fellas, and this is the type of fellas, if you have sex with a girl and you're both drunk, you're going to be held liable to a totally different extent than the woman. I felt that was pretty known. I guess that Maya's saying that in her experience with one of her friends. Yeah, in college. I'm saying you're saying that your experience is different based on your friend. Cool. And based on the school's policy. All right. If they want to say that men and boys should be playing sports against women and girls, this is what I would do. All the domestic rules where if a guy and a woman are fighting each other, let's take the Ray Rice situation, for example. Didn't Ray Rice's wife hit him first? She spit on him, right? So he should be allowed to defend himself, right? Based on us adjusting all the rules to these trans people and saying that there's no, I think the USA Today just put out an article saying that there's no scientific study or no scientific data that shows that a transgender biologically born man has an advantage in sports over a biologically born woman. Of course it's not possible. Just like this attorney general knows the shit that he's saying is not realistic or possible. That's the whole point. These Democrats and liberals are pushing something that doesn't even seem realistic. It doesn't seem possible. How we're still having these conversations is confusing to me. But if you're going to take it there, then have the courage and have the balls to actually take it there when it comes to other issues as well. Like in a domestic violence situation. Because I'm pretty sure everybody can understand in a domestic violence situation that we grew up, oh, you shouldn't put your hands on women, right? Women don't grow up. It's totally different when a woman puts her hands on a man, right? We can, and women, and why are you told not to put your hands on men? And why is that a problem? The point, that's the point. Women are told not to put their hands on men. Why? Because a man is stronger than a man may react. Now, are you told not to put your hands on another woman? Okay. So the energy is different with men because we have obviously biological differences. The fact that we trust this person to be an attorney general to cape and to pander like this is an embarrassment. Is a complete embarrassment. Let me get back to let me show y'all the other video. All right, let me make sure that y'all aren't showing. Let me get to the comments as well. Hold on. We all agree. All right, so Vons, this is a great point. We all agree, even Democrats. No, you're wrong, Vons. The Democratic voters agree, but your politicians do not agree.
First and foremost, want to give a huge shout out to everybody that continues to tap in with us, like and subscribe and join our community. If you haven't already, please make sure that you do. We look forward to engaging in some dope convo with you that can help us all elevate. So like, subscribe, and maybe even share the video if you're feeling real generous. On that note, we'll let you get back to the video. See you soon.
Look at what that's and Vons, you are right. I agree. I agree totally with what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that even though the people all agree on this issue, the Democrats and liberals continue to fight this. They continue to have this frontline their agenda. Why? I don't know. Matter of fact, think about this. What are the Democrats known for besides just being against Trump? What are the Democrats known for in the last 5 years, maybe longer than that? Maybe since Trump got nominated or since Trump got elected. What are the Democrats known for? I can't think of anything that the Democrats push. Now, I'm sure there may be some things that I'll think about, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head that the Democrats have backed so hard outside of this issue. And I don't even think the abortion has played as strong a role. So Maya said that abortion as well. I don't even think that. Well, I guess the whole women's rights. Yeah, I would agree with that. So abortion. Besides abortion, and that abortion thing only came out with Project 2025. That was the biggest thing. Oh, Maya said so. Abortion. Okay, so I'll give abortion. Outside of being pro-choice or pro-life, what has the Democrat stance been like so strongly when you think about what the Democrats represent? It's been this issue. Why? Doesn't it make you wonder, why would you intentionally push something? You're supposed to be a politician. You're supposed to be the slick people that say anything to get as many voters to support you as possible. If they know that the voters do not support this, why are they pushing it? Why are they pushing all these things? It makes you wonder. Have you been to Brooklyn? What's going on in Brooklyn? Shout out to Honest in the building. Shout out to Big Bro. This entire topic. What can we do to not support these type of policies? Keep letting your voice be known. Keep letting your voice be known. What can you do to not support these type of policies? Keep letting your voice be known. Stop voting for people, in my opinion. Stop voting for people just based on single-based issues. This is just my recommendation. Unc's asking me, so this is just my recommendation, my opinion. You guys can do what you want with it. Too many Democrats, in my opinion, like Vons, like a lot of other people that we speak on, and Vons is just out there with it. So, and I don't even think Vons, I think Vons, you said you didn't even vote in this last election. I'm not, but whatever. Too many Democrats, in my opinion, vote based on, and let me say this, too many Republicans and Democrats vote based on single issues. That to me is the problem. Too many, Ma, can you shut that door? It's just, Ma, can you shut the door? I'm hearing the show. All right. Too many people vote based on single issues. And when you vote based on a single issue, what it does is it allows them to push all the other BS that their party wants to push through just because you agreed on. We've talked about it before. What's the number one thing that Democrats and liberals are pushing right now that Trump is going to do? He's going to take away Social Security and Medicaid. Has never said that. Maybe he'll do it. I don't know, but he's never said that, consistently denied it. But that's what they keep pushing because they know that so many voters, especially over 50, that is their biggest concern. So many voters over 50 and so many voters that are living in poverty. That is their biggest concern. You taking away my Medicaid, you taking away my Social Security. That's it. They do not care about this issue that we're talking about right now. And the problem is these issues never become issues until they impact you as an individual, when your daughter or your niece or your little cousin or whoever it may be is impacted by this, or when it numbs our minds, when it numbs our brain to where we can vote for people where we've removed all logic. So they'll push these nonsensical things across to kind of numb us to push whatever other things that are going to come down the line. This is what they're trying to create. This is the whole George Soros play. This is a huge issue that we just don't even consider because it's like almost like it's so ridiculous. We're like, how can these quote unquote intelligent people be pushing it through? I would stop voting for him. That's an easy way, Unc. Stop. If a candidate can't tell you what a woman is, I probably wouldn't vote for them. Can we start there? If a candidate thinks that a biologically born boy should be playing sports against biologically born girls, that's probably the light bulb go off. Probably won't vote for that person because that person is pushing something that they don't even agree with themselves. They're just doing it to align with whatever agenda to whoever lined their pockets. They're just, hey, we need you to stand here on this issue. We need you to be here on this issue. That is what is happening. And just my opinion. Just my opinion. Honest wrote, if you're a Democrat right now, your only plan has to be to refuse to say you were ever wrong or you ever lied on radical strategies. Pathetic reality in today's politics. If you're a Democrat right now, your only plan has to be to refuse to say you were ever wrong or you ever lied on radical strategies. Pathetic reality of today's politics. There's a lot to unpack there, big bro. There's a lot to unpack there. It's accountability. Accountability. I don't understand the issue. I will come up on here and say certain things that I disagree with Trump. Will say certain things that I thought were insensitive, all these different things. But you can't get people. I don't know. I don't know. It's just an accountability standpoint, I guess. And I guess that's why I'm still a thinker, because I didn't use any of that crap. I agree with you 100%. Anyone that is promoting a 14-year-old boy to play ball against my 14-year-old granddaughter got to be insane. This is it. We didn't even make it to the second video. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. This was about Riley Gaines and Simone Biles. Hold on.
All right. Parents in Minnesota are furious as a
listen. This is the second video that I wanted to show y'all. Hold on. Let me stop talking for a little bit. I'm already y'all got me hyped up. Mama Lay, you the one that started it.
Softball team with a biological male player is headed to the high school state championship today after back-to-back wins this week. Host of the games.
All right. Is this the person that's the transgender? And I heard in a different video that they were saying that the person is, and hold on, one more thing. The reason why we're highlighting this particular issue is because this is what started the issue with Riley Gaines and Simone Biles. So just to give y'all a reminder on that. I know I started talking about it like 20 minutes ago, going on all these tangents, but this looks like a guy to me. I assume that this is the guy, even though they said that the guy played center field. So this is what the coach tried to do. The coach on the softball team, this is what I think, based on what the lawsuit that we just heard, where the girls were saying that the guy was pitching against them, and when they got hit by the ball, they had never been like hurt that much, because obviously the guy was stronger and he was throwing the ball harder. So the coach of this team was saying how, oh my God, praising this person as a center fielder. Well, a center fielder, we could be saying, well, what's their impact in this game? And just to give y'all, so they ended up winning the championship. So that's why all this stuff came out. They ended up winning the championship. And then Riley Gaines, she commented and said, like, oh, you turned your comments off on this one. So imagine a team winning the championship, and then they turned their comments off. Clearly, they knew what to expect. So that was the whole issue around it. But the fact that this lady was highlighting this person as a center fielder and not highlighting the fact that this was a pitcher. Like, could you imagine? It's like a position where you can impact the game in such a significant way. You can literally have a team, let's say a softball team is 15 players. Another team could have 14 players, or let's say their 15 players are all better than the 14 players on the other softball team, except one. And that one is the pitcher. I'm still banking on the team with the dude that's pitching. That's who I'm going with.
For Girls podcast on Outkick.com. Riley Gaines joins me now. Riley, good morning to you. So the softball players coach praised her, saying she's always clutch. I think she's the best center fielder in the state. She's just a great all-around player. But as we mentioned, players and parents impacted by this are outraged by it. So here we go again.
Yeah, that's right. Of course they're outraged. They should be outraged. I cannot believe, Carly, that this is still happening. And it's not just happening in Minnesota. Over the past 7 days, we have seen this happen in 5 blue states where boys have taken girls' state championship spots, state qualifying spots, or their spots on the podium. Minnesota, California, Washington, Oregon, Maine, the list goes on. Cannot believe this is still happening. And reminder, in Minnesota just a few months ago, I was there on the House floor as every single Minnesota House Democrat and senator, Democratic senators in the state of Minnesota voted in opposition of protecting women and girls in sports. This is tragic. It breaks my heart. I am so proud of the girls. There are a handful of girls now who are suing their state's attorney general and the high school sports governing body that has allowed this to happen because.
Vons, I got to ask you, and anybody that voted Democrat, I'm sorry, I got to ask you, how do you feel? Like, why do you think, let me ask you this question. Why do you think that the people, the Democratic politicians are unanimously supporting allowing boys to play sports against girls? Can you just answer that question? Why are they pushing it? Why is this the hill that they are willing to die on?
Discriminatory policies that exclude.
And even though Maya said that the issue with abortions rights and women, that was probably a bigger issue that Democrats were pushing over this issue, since Donald Trump has become reelected, I've heard more about this than women's pro-life and pro-choice. I haven't heard as much about pro-choice, pro-life. Now, that may be for other reasons. I don't know. I'm sure somebody can inform me on that, but I've heard more about this.
Women from the women's category. Cannot believe this is happening.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that.
All right, so let's get into, I want to show y'all what happened on X. So this is what happened on X. Let me share this with you all. I wish I could make it a little larger, but we'll just have to deal with this. All right. So this is what happened on X. So as I said, this Minnesota State High School League, this Meet Champlin Park, the Class 4A softball state champions for 2025. Okay. So I believe this was the guy, the boy, the trans girl that we saw pitching. Cool. Clearly, there's a difference here, right? Height. Okay, cool. All right. So when they won the championship, and I guess put up this post, Riley Gaines noticed that the comments were off. She wrote, "Comments off, LOL, to be expected when your star player is a boy." Let's actually see. Are the comments off? Hold on. Wow. So the comments are actually off. So this post got 45.9 million views and the comments are off. Oh, man. Like, you would think that you would want the comments to be on, right? And especially in our day and age where we want to be celebrated and we want everybody to tell us how great we are, all these different things. Okay, cool. So it's like they understand that the majority of people are going to have a problem with it, or maybe they don't think it's the majority of people. I don't know. Maybe because most people just sit back and even though they disagree with it, and maybe that goes to the question that I was asking to the people that vote Democrat. Maybe that's the question. Maybe it's because when you're voting, you're only prioritizing the Social Security and Medicaid to where they don't. I mean, do you think the politicians don't know that you disagree with it? Or do you think they just don't care because they know you're still going to vote for them regardless? I guess that would be my question. So Simone Biles responds with this to Riley Gaines. "You're truly sick. All of this campaigning because you lost a race. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive or creating a new avenue where trans feel safe in sports, maybe a transgender category in all sports." Well, Simone, you just said a whole lot there. Yeah. How about maybe a transgender category in all sports? Who is arguing against that? That is what Riley Gaines is pushing for them to have their own category or to compete with the category that they are biologically aligned with. But then she says, but instead you bully them. one thing's for sure is no one in sports is safe with you around. They start using those gaslighting words like nobody is safe with you around. But the girls who are competing against boys are safe. But the woman in the Olympics who had to fight against a dude being punched on by a guy, she's safe. And what's so funny about this is all of this campaigning because you lost a race. Simone Biles has never competed against a guy. But let me actually, hold on. Let me chat GPT this. Let me chat GPT this because I don't even think that she did. Riley Gaines lose to a guy in a race. I want to look this up because what I saw, you got to be careful getting this info from chat GPT. Shout out to y'all. I start there. I treat y'all like Google, but it's got to be a little bit more extensive, in my opinion, at least certain things that I've seen. Did Riley Gaines lose a guy? All right, so it's taking a while. Riley Gaines. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me share this with y'all. Since we got to be specific on this stuff. All right, let me share the screen. I want y'all to see this. Share screen window. Where is it? Boom. Here we go. All right, let me show this on screen. All right. So as you can see here, Riley Gaines did not lose a race to a man. She actually tied for fifth place with Leah Thomas, a transgender woman, in the 200-yard freestyle at the 2022 NCAA Women's Championships. Despite the tie, Leah Thomas was awarded the trophy and Gaines left without one. No evidence suggests that she ever lost to a cisgender man in competition. What did happen recently involves her challenging key. Okay, so that's a different one. All right, so Simone Biles, she actually didn't lose to a guy. She actually tied to a guy for fifth place and never received her fifth place trophy at the NCAA Women's Championships because they wanted to award it to a man or a transgender woman, whatever, a biologically born man. And Simone Biles is trying to portray the story to all of her audience, which we know that she has a huge influence, right? A huge influence. And she's trying to position it in a way where it just makes Riley Gaines look like the big bad bully. When in all actuality, Simone Biles is contradicting herself, even in the statement that she makes here. And you know where else she contradicts herself? See, this is why you got to be careful of the things that you tweet early on. This is a post that was made by Simone Biles in October 2017. Good thing guys don't compete against girls, or he'd take all the gold medals. Is it any more complicating than that? But because Simone Biles, and this is what makes me question. This is why I asked you the question earlier, Vons, and to all the Democrats. This is, and Vons answered, and he said it's got to be for political position. So I said, why do you think, even though Democratic voters do not support this, why do the Democratic leaders, the politicians, the leaders of your party that are guiding y'all, why does this seem to be an issue that they want to push, even though the people that vote for them do not want it? And Vaughn said it's got to be political positions. So what political position is a favor is somebody putting themselves in by pushing this type of narrative? What political position? What makes Simone Biles go from saying, good thing guys don't compete against girls or you take all the gold medals? What makes them go from common sense? They played sports. Let's remind ourselves of this. Simone Biles played sports. She understands the difference between a man and a woman. I would understand when it comes to physical competition in gymnastics. What is making her in her mind go from saying, I'm going to remove all logic and then just go in this area and go based on I just want everybody to feel good. Forget the feelings of, you know what's so funny? Simone Biles, who's supposed to be for uplifting women, you're more concerned about the feelings of Leah Thomas, who was a biologically born man. You're more concerned about the feelings of Leah Thomas, more concerned about the feelings of the transgender boxer at the Olympics than you are about the women that are competing and saying, hey, this is not fair. I can't compete. But you take the side of the actual man over the women. It's insane to me. It's insane to me. So I think there was what was there? One more post that I need to see on this. Yeah, just so you guys, you see it right here. I think I'm still sharing the screen. All right, cool. I don't know. I don't know. So Honest wrote, so this must mean Simone Biles will be running for office soon. Stay tuned. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Unc wrote, have a transgender category in every sport. That's all. Yeah, just have it like, oh my God. This subject is so obviously insane that there has to be a real reason that the powers that be are keeping up their sleeves that will contribute to their future agenda. This is what I'm saying. All right, so we're on the same page here, Steve. We're on the same page. It's so obviously insane. It has to be something else. Like, I'm thinking there has to be something else. And I would never trust people who would push things that are obviously insane to try to get the day-to-day folk to understand it. They're trying to get us to rationalize this. They're trying to get us to embrace something that is just completely insane. And my question is why? That's the question. Why? So I think I don't know. I think we covered this one enough. Oh my God. All right, let's move on to, are we going to do the LA riots? Are we going to do the LA riots or Trump versus Elon? Let's move on to the, I'll let y'all know in a sec. Oh man. Oh man. Let's do the LA riots. Let's do the LA riots. All right, so this was a video that I saw. We'll use this one. Check out this video. Let me know your thoughts. We're going to go through the conversation. But apparently, LA is rioting on his road. So this must mean Simone Biles will be running for office soon. Stay tuned. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, way down a rabbit hole. Hold up, Queens coming through. Hold them accountable, Queens. Women need to step up and speak out against this. Instead, we hear more support. Hustling backwards. Illogical. Women need to I don't get how women will literally stand up and fight. Like, y'all don't fight for, well, I shouldn't say that. Women do fight for men in certain areas. But women, we know that women will fight for women's rights, women's empowerment. We know this. But when it comes to this issue, so let me ask y'all this. So when a man wants to be a woman, you support those men, but wait. Hold up. Queez, you may have tapped into something. So let me get this straight. Maybe this is a microcosm, or this is just another way of highlighting what's the actual issue between men and women. Women will support a guy that wants to be a woman. Women may support, let's say, a gay guy. But women don't support the masculine, stern leaders that a lot of women say that their grandfathers were, but that these soft men in our generation are not. Isn't that kind of like a contradiction, or as we always call it, hustling backwards? Maybe, ladies, if y'all started supporting and showing love to the men that actually stand sturdy on things, especially when it comes to protecting the girls' youth sports, right? Protecting our young girls. Maybe y'all should have the same energy in supporting those type of men that have the courage to stand up and speak out against it that Simone Biles has to speak up for a biologically born man or boy that wants to compete in sports against a woman or a girl. Maybe what do we always say? The things that are celebrated, right? The things that are celebrated. The things that are celebrated when we talk about Black culture, the things that are celebrated, that's what ends up misleading us a lot, right? Because our culture is created based on the things that we celebrate, and then the people that want to be. Ew, it's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.